So, what is life really like after debt? Tina, do you have any stories that you can share about individuals that you've helped over the years? And if so, what do you hear from individuals in terms of what life looks like after they've filed a bankruptcy or a consumer proposal?
Linda, it's always great to hear how filing a bankruptcy or consumer proposal has improved someone's quality of life. One individual in particular that we were able to assist was completely overwhelmed with her debt and wanted to retire and relocate back to Nova Scotia. Once we implemented a monthly budget to deal with her living expenses and filed a consumer proposal to deal with her debt, she was finally able to make her goal of relocating and retiring a reality. She's now enjoying a stress-free retirement.
That sounds great, Tina. And I think that's really what the legislation is intended to provide for Canadians. David, do you have any stories that you can share about clients and what they've told you, if anything, over the years, what life looks like after debt?
Well, I find everybody's experience is just somewhat different. I think a lot of it comes through, it's not just a matter of filing some papers and this debt all goes away. They have to have a plan. This is a process. And then when they come out of it, then it's looking forward to, okay, what are the next steps? So we did have one client who he was in the middle of a proposal and found that he needed a car. Up until that point, he was able to do without one. And so he's trying to go through the process. How do I do this? Nobody's going to talk to me. But he was able to find that because he was doing a proposal, that the car company was willing to talk to him. They were willing to lend him some money for a vehicle. And then what happened was the interest rate was a little bit on the high side. So it was around 15, 16%. So he knew that that was okay, this is expensive. But what happened is through the proposal, he made sure that his payments were always current, because that was a condition of the financing. And the car company worked with him. So then once he finished the proposal, he has no debt at this point. He doesn't have a proposal payment. Then he was able to go back to the dealer and he was able to trade in that car for a new one. And because he was finished with the proposal, that interest rate now dropped down to 6 or 7%. So then not only had the benefit of no debt payments, his payment for his car actually dropped by half. So now he was finding just that much more money in his budget that he could use for trips and different things he couldn't afford before.
That's a really great story, David. I think I have something similar, or that I think the best story that I can think of and feedback that I've gotten from a client or an individual over the years is just how quickly she was able to rebuild her credit. And I think you'd probably both agree that when you're meeting people, a really big concern are people's credit ratings. A lot of people have spent, years working on their credit and building good credit. And when they get up to a point where they have to file a bankruptcy or consumer proposal, it's a big blow to have to see all that hard work over the years just essentially disappear overnight. Um, but the good news is that credit can be rebuilt. And what I uh, what I also hear is that, or what I usually tell people is, don't let your credit rating be the deciding factor in whether or not you look for help from a professional. I had this one young woman that I was able to help through a bankruptcy, and she had lower income. She was single, and right after she finished her bankruptcy, so it was a 9-month bankruptcy. Right after she finished her bankruptcy, she applied for credit cards, which we recommend people do if they're looking to rebuild their credit, low limit credit cards. And she was able to rebuild her credit and was pre-approved for a mortgage after 2 years, which I was, it was a really good story to hear about. It was really nice that she called me up to share that news. So yeah, I like hearing those stories from clients over the years.